Okay, so now that the staining is done and this guy is relatively dry, I also took the time to paint black around the edge. Oh, we're not dry right along here, but the least painful this is at the end, the better. So, I mean, if you like to border them in brown or green or whatever, go ahead and do that after this staining step, if you even do this staining step. But next we're going to just do some base coats. So I'm going to get an inexpensive Reaper brush, and we're going to go ahead and put our first layer on the skin. And at random here, I am just going to grab Model Air Color Yellow Olive. You know what? Screw that. I'm going to go ahead and use some paint that more than likely most people will have it, especially the GW folks. So this is Games Workshop, you know, Citadel Foundation Orc Hide Shade, and I'm just going to put a base coat on this. So there you go. Wow, look at that container. Yucky. But I usually dip my brush in water and then kind of make a more thinned pool of it right there in the middle. And in this stage, you're more worried about coverage than you are getting it on the armor or whatever. Okay, so if you slop a little on the chainmail or the armor, don't even worry about it at this stage. You know, at this stage, I almost think it's more important to just be get a nice coverage and be quick, so you're not, you know, wasting time on these boring base coats. Mostly the cracks is where you want to get this, so if you've thinned it down slightly too much, don't even worry about that. It's almost better, especially if you're a beginner, to get it in the cracks. And so we're just going along, and I'll finish this up. Okay, is it in focus? Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is the armor. So we're going to take some Games Workshop bolt gun metal and Vallejo Model Color Black again. And we're going to shake up our bolt gun, and then we're going to put just a little tiny dot of black on the edge of the paint pot, and I'm going to build up a glob of bolt gun there and add black to it till I'm satisfied that we have a nice dark metal color. And once we have a nice iron looking color, we're going to paint all of these major armor plates that color. And so that's the next step. Make sure you get good coverage. You don't want any of that white or now light gray primer showing through on that. And now that you're done with the major skin portion of the model, now's when you want to start to be careful about staying in the lines. Not so much around the chainmail, but definitely here, like where the metal is close to the skin. As you can see, I already got a blurb on the skin there, but thank God it's only the base coat. So that's that. Okay, so the next step we're going to, so that's what I did with the metal. Okay, that black and bolt gun mix. Okay, the next step is we're going to take Reaper copper. Okay, and this is like an old, reminds me of old tester's paint or something. You know, you screw the top off and dip out of the cap, and then now we're going to go through and paint all the chainmail. On this model. So again, we're starting to be, you know, very careful with what's in the lines. I want you to notice that I'm poking the chainmail. If you glop it on, it tends to plug up every 5th or 6th link, and then when you go to stain it later or dry brush a lighter color over the top, it kind of looks funny. You know, it doesn't look as good as it could. So kind of, you know, I glop it on over the top at first usually, and then I just kind of go back and poke all the chainmail to make sure that none of the links are clogged with paint. And so that's what we're doing there. So Reaper copper, or, you know, one of the darker copper colors of, you know, some other company. Okay, so we're done with the copper step. Now what we're going to do is paint. You notice I switch brushes. This brush is a number 5-0 Reaper Kowalski brush, and I'm using Hull Red, Vallejo model color Hull Red, and it's a nice darker reddish brown. Any dark brown will work. I mean, you can follow along with scorched brown if you wish. And so I'm just getting all of the straps. Don't forget these ones down here on the boots. I skipped a step on you. I painted the back side of the boots black, just plain old black. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of it showing. You know, and then there's a few straps here by the shoulders. Don't forget about these in here either. And so once you get that totally base coated, we'll move on. Okay, so here we are. Next thing we're going to do is paint all of the fur on this guy a dark gray. Okay, I don't think particularly Games Workshop has a gray quite this dark. This color is German gray, Vallejo model color, and